Good morning. My name's Angela. Welcome back. My channel is Cultivating and Crafting Hope, and I am in the process of getting my ORCO Model 70 2-shaft loom ready for starting to weave rugs. And I'm just kind of like, this is kind of my video diary and sharing with anyone who's watching, like, my process, what I'm going through. Want to preface, I'm not an expert. I'm still learning, but after warping this loom a couple of times, this is the part. This is what is best for me, what works for me. So I have, I've wound all of my warp onto my sections, and then the next thing I did was I actually counted out all of my Heddles. I don't know if you can see all of my Heddles, and I grouped them in groups of 12. So I started from my center. I marked where my center was on my Heddle frame, and so my center I actually marked with a piece of yarn, and then I counted the center 12, and then started counting out bundling 12. So like here's center, bundle, 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 and all the way across. Now I did 12 on the front frame and 12 on the back, I say front, this is actually the back frame, and then 12 on the front, because there are 24 ends per inch, or 24 ends per 2 inches, which would make bundles of 12 and 12. 12 on the front frame and 12 on the back frame. So that's what I did. I like to bundle because I will count and double count as I bundle them to make sure that I have enough Heddles on my frame, just to make sure I don't need to shift Heddles around before I start to thread. Also, the bundles help to keep these the Heddles I'm not working on, just out of the way. So I'm ready to start my next section. To keep these out of the way, I'll just kind of move them over a little bit so I don't get anything mixed up. I do keep the tape on the ends of the bundles just to help make sure that nothing gets lost or gets goes astray, goes where it's not supposed to be. So I'm going to take the tape off, and I'm going to bundle this, or I'm going to put this bundle over the top, and then I'm just going to snip, and then I'm going to reach through and snip. So I'm just taking the yarn off of my bundles, and then I'm sliding these bundles over to my left because I'm warping from left to right. So I'm going to pull one at a time so I can access it. And then I'm going to separate out. It's first thing in the morning. I haven't had my coffee yet, so my hands are still a little uncooperative. So I'm trying to make sure that they also don't get twisted or crossed over the threads I've already done. So I'm going to do dark blue. I'm going to reach through, and I'm going to actually pull this over. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm pulling this over, then moving this out of the way. And then it looks like this is a little twisted around. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to just pull that out. And then here's my next, the first heddle of this bundle on this frame, and that's when my gray goes in. Right, and then I'm going to pull this over just like that. A little bit more tension on you guys. So that is the first pair. So now I'm going to grab gray, white, or I'm sorry, not gray, white, blue and gray. Like I said, first cup of coffee. I'm still working on my first cup of coffee. So I'm going to reach through, then exhale. Now I did see a really neat idea someone on one of my weaving groups shared, and I might actually try this. I had already started threading these heddles before, but where she actually, to help, she actually took nail polish and, like, for one shaft she painted the heddle holes like a bright pink, and then for these heddles she painted them for a upright neon green. That way she can tell which one is front and back, or and then it also helps to make sure that she has her heddles threaded in order. Okay, so I'm going to, ready for these two. So how is your morning today? How's your day? If you're watching in the afternoon, how's your day so far? So it is about 5 in the morning here. Working on this bright and early. My husband went to go do martial arts, so I am taking the opportunity of a quiet house, nobody else is up yet, to work on my loom. Might have to get this. It's a little awkward doing this from the other side, but here we are. You have to get a little careful, because sometimes if this gets cattywampus, it will actually catch the heddle eye and not want to go through. There we go. All right. So this is I was reading a book. Oh, I can't remember. I was reading one of my reading reference books, and it was talking about how threading the heddles, warping the loom, but threading the heddles especially is a long, tedious process that most weavers do not enjoy. But I actually find that it's actually kind of nice to have something that is a little monotonous to do, that's very simple to do and repetitive. Like this, I can think it's a good opportunity to just get into the rhythm of what you're doing, you know, and just saying a prayer. Make sure I'm getting in order down here. Just pray, listen to music. I don't know, it's my work day. At the end of my work day, it's kind of nice to just have something. You don't have to think. You can just let your thoughts be, calm your mind, you know, meditate on scripture, pray, and just not think about your to-do list, your task list. It's nice just to get to do this, something simple. So, yeah, I'm going quickly because I want to. Anyway, we're making pretty good progress. Making progress. Just a few more to go. Oh, I'm hearing something. Sounds like somebody's up. Might have been one of the cats jumping on something. So I do everything on my loom one section at a time. Like so these sections, I threaded the heddles and then I went ahead and threaded the reed. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. And the reason I did that is because it's easier for me to check that sections are correct. So, there we go. All right, so we're coming close. So if I've done everything right, if I've counted everything right, didn't skip any heddles, we should be almost there. One of my first sections. Oh, that's one thing. Make sure, double check, make sure your warp is going from your warp, the the beam over the breast, over the back breast. I started threading last night and completely spaced, and I was going straight from the beam to the heddles. And I actually had to undo my first two sections and completely redo them. So that was a little bit of time lost. That was a frustration. Sometimes your warp threads get caught on the pegs of the beam, so you just have to like undo them. Also checking to make sure this section is still in the correct section down here. Because sometimes they can try to migrate. All right. Now it's really nice to do this and just enjoy a nice quiet house, which around here is a rare occasion. Have to take that time in the mornings. There we go. And here we go. And this is the last pair, which is good because we have one more pair of Heddles. So I counted everything right. I didn't skip a Heddle. I don't have any threads left over and no Heddles. All right, so now everything's good. Now I'm going to move these back over to the left. Oh, one more thing I did. So I marked my end, but I also marked in between every 12 on the actual frame. I guess I don't need that now, but it is helpful. I just simply tied a piece of yarn, just like that. That way I can keep everything, once the bundles are cut and they're kind of floating around on the frame, I still have a visual marker of what section I'm working with. You're not wanting to tie. So like I have this section, and this is the next section that's marked. So everything, I'm going to scoot all these over and all these over. Oh wait, I lied. I did not mark this section. This was my new section I should have marked. So I will do that after. I'm going to do that now, just to show you. So, tie. And tie one more. And this way, this helps me visually. Like if there's an issue, I can identify exactly which section that issue is at. All right, now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, instead of continuing on, I'm going to actually thread this section through the heddles. So I'm going to pause, move you around so I can show you me threading the root, not the heddles, the reed. Okay, so I'm going to start threading my reed. So I'm going to take my first, I'm going to double check, make sure this is the first heddle. Then I'm going to find the next slot on my reed. Hook, pull through. Then I'm going to find next one. I'm going to make sure it is the next one in the frame. Next one in order on the frame. Now, I know a lot of people don't thread their heddles or thread their reeds in sections. They just keep going across until it's done, until their heddles are done, and then they do the reed. But when I've done that before, I just find if you make a mistake, like if you have cross threads or anything, you just have to, like, not undo the whole thing, but it's a little bit defeating feeling to get completely finished, think you're done, and then you realize you made a mistake. This way, for me, I can find the mistake quicker, and I can get it completed, or I can get it corrected, and then that way when all my sections are done, I know I'm done threading everything. And then I can begin to tie on. So again, going across, making sure you're in the next hole. And also, breaking it up like this, it's just easier for my brain. Because it's just easier. It's easier when I break everything up instead of like one task of threading all the heddles. It's just easier for me if I break it up to thread one section at a time and then thread the reed one section at a time. Okay, what did I just do? I just did gray. So now I'm wanting blue. I'm moving things over. Gray. Make sure I haven't missed. There we go. Scooch you over. Blue. Oops, come on. Blue. Again, I'm not an expert. I've only been weaving off and on for a couple years. I've woven a couple of projects on this loom. So doing this in sections is what works for me. For some others, it may work to do everything at once. fact, for most weavers I know, they do each step as a whole. I find, oops, drops. I find even when I am winding on front to back, once my warp is wound on, it's just easier for me to break the threading of the heddles and the reed into sections. Just because. Oops. Get that. Make sure. Come on. What is the deal? He's playing tricks on me. There we go. I got new glasses, and they're the ones that are the one step between the bifocal, or just before the bifocals. So they are taking a little bit of time to get used to. Go. Nope, don't drop down. You stay up here. What you doing, Sadie? What you doing, huh? What you doing? So a little bit about me. I've got, let's see, we have 3 cats and 1 long-term foster cat because she's in medical case. She's technically unofficially ours permanently, because she's got some medical issues that really deem her harder to adopt. So she's our permanent foster. We haven't officially adopted her yet, but we unofficially have. Then I have 2 dogs. Both of them were rescues. We have 5 adult rabbits, and 2 of my rabbits had babies. So right now we have 1 doe that has 10 babies born earlier this week, and 1 doe with 7 babies born earlier this week. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think baby rabbits are just so cute. Then we have chickens, and I have a garden, which I'm way behind. I got potatoes. It's April, middle of April, and for our area, like, it's the time and the weather to get everything in. And so far, I have only gotten potatoes and peas in the ground. I don't know, I work 6 days a week, and it's just, I found myself this year, more fatigued, more tired. So I just haven't had the energy to get out in the garden. All right, this is the last thread. So I don't know if you can see that. I've got everything threaded here. And then I'm going to kind of move the heddles back into place, let them float where they need to be. There we go. And then this, I'm going to check now I don't know, see if you can see the Heddles. I'm going to move you so you can see the Heddles. It's really hard to see from this angle. But I'm going to move the shafts up and down, and I'm looking to see if anything is crossed, which that's pretty good. I don't see anything crossed. All right, everything was threaded in order. Everything is where it's supposed to be. So I am confident. I'm doing one more check. Right, you can't see it from this angle, I don't think, but everything looks good. So now I'm going to break these up into half. So I'm going to do 12, which is 6 pairs. And I'm going to knot. I want everything done in pairs for tying on. I don't like that knot. So I'm just going to loosely half hitch it. And then just drape them over. So, all right. So that is one more section done on my ORCO loom. And 11 more to go. So, all right, you all have a blessed day. Thank you for hanging with me. These videos, I'm not going to edit anything. I'm just trying to document what I'm doing and share with whoever. But anyway, I hope you have a blessed and wonderful day. And remember, we can cultivate and craft with hope because we have hope in Jesus. Have a blessed day.